Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is our course in which we are reading about the historical background of the Indian polity, and this is lesson number 6 of the course, in which we will be reading about the Government of India Act of 1947, and it is very important act, so please pay attention. My name is Rohan Kumar Singh. If you like this video, do hit the like button as I told you always, and if you want to learn about more such various educational topics, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. So here are some of the highlights from the previous lesson which we have learned. So in the previous lesson we have learned about the Communal Award and the Government of India Act of 1935. So the Communal Award was announced by Ramsay MacDonald in 1932, and the provision in that award was to give separate electorate for the depressed classes. But later Pune Pact was signed between the leaders of the Indian Congress and the leaders of the depressed classes to retain the joint Hindu electorate. And the Government of India Act of 1935, it provided for the establishment of All India Federation. Okay, but this particular provision never came into being because the princely states refused to join the All India Federation. It abolished the diarchy in the provinces and it provided for the establishment of diarchy at the center, but this particular provision was also not enacted. It provided for the bicameral legislature in 6 out of 11 provinces, and it also provided for the establishment of Reserve Bank of India to control the credit and currency of the country. It provided for the establishment of Federal Public Service Commission, the Provincial Public Service Commission, and the Joint Public Service Commission. Now we'll learn about the Indian Independence Act. So before we jump to the features of the act, we'll just see the background. Okay. On February 20th, 1947, the then British Prime Minister Clement Attlee, he declared that British rule in India would be end by 30th June of 1948. Okay. On June 3rd, 1948, okay, British government made it clear that any constitution framed by the Constituent Assembly cannot apply to those parts of the country which are unwilling to accept it. So there is a condition in the independence of India. Okay, so first they are saying that a Constituent Assembly has to be formed for the framing of Constitution of the independent India, and they are also saying that the provision of the constitutions will not be applied to those parts of the country which are unwilling to accept it. Okay. So Lord Mountbatten, the last Viceroy of India, he put forwarded the partition plan known as the Mountbatten Plan. So along with the independence of India also came the partition of India. Now the features of the act. It ended the British rule in India and declared India as independent and sovereign state from the 15th of August 1947. And it also provided for the partition of India, as I already told you, and creation of 2 independent dominions of India and Pakistan. So at first, the dominion status was provided to the India and Pakistan, okay? And they also provided the provision to separate from the British Commonwealth of Nations. So British Commonwealth of Nations are the group of nations who were the colonies of British Empire at some point of the time. It also abolished the office of Viceroy, which was a very powerful office during the entire rule of the Britishers in India, and it provided for each dominion a Governor General. It empowered the Constituent Assembly of India it empowered the Constituent Assembly of the 2 dominions to frame and adopt any constitution they want. Okay, so they have given them the independence to frame any kind of constitution, and they want for their respective nations and to repeal any act of the British Parliament. That means the Constituent Assembly can frame any kind of constitution they want, and they are also empowered to repeal any kind of act which was passed by British Parliament. It empowered the Constituent Assemblies of the 2 dominions to legislate for their respective territories. So it is very important point that the Constituent Assemblies of the 2 dominions was also the legislature of the 2 dominions, because they are empowered to frame legislation during the time the constitution was drafted. Okay. It abolished the office of Secretary of State for India and transferred its power to the Secretary of State for Commonwealth Affairs. Now this is a very important point, that it proclaimed the lapse of British paramountcy over India, and they have given the option to the princely states and tribal areas to remain independent, okay, or either to join the dominion of India or to dominion of Pakistan. Okay, so this particular provision is very much dangerous during that time, because it provided for the disintegration of India into small parts. Okay, but later with the political acumen of our leaders, they are actually enabled to integrate India into a one nation. Okay, and they managed to include all the Indian princely states into India. It provided for the governance of each dominion and the provinces, the Government of India Act of 1935. And it deprived the British monarch of his right to veto bills or ask for the reservation of any bill for its approval. So it is a very simple provision. It designated the Governor General of India and the governors now to act on the advice of the respective Council of Ministers in all matters. So a kind of parliamentary type of government provision was there. Okay, because it designated the Governor General of India and the governors of the provinces as the head of the state, and they allowed them to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers. It dropped the title of Emperor of India from the royal titles of the England, and it discontinued the appointment of civil servant and reservation of posts by the Secretary of State for India. Now Lord Mountbatten, he became the first Governor General of the Indian Dominion, and he swore in Jawaharlal Nehru as the first Prime Minister of the independent India. And the Constituent Assembly of India, formed in 1946, became the Parliament of the Indian Dominion. Okay, so whatever the Constituent Assembly was there, so it also became the Parliament of Indian Dominion afterwards. So thank you very much guys for watching this video. If you like this video, do hit the like button, and if you want to get more such videos on various educational topics, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any kind of doubts, any kind of suggestions, please post it in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and have an awesome day.